Today is International Midwives Day, with the theme being Follow the Data, Invest in Midwives. The aim today is to clearly communicate the impact of midwives and widely circulate this amongst global and national decision makers. A midwife is a health professional who cares for mothers and newborns around childbirth. Now, bringing this home to Nigeria, an estimated 53,000 women and 250,000 newborn die annually, and mostly as a result of preventable causes. Responding to this problem, in 2009/2010, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency established the Midwife Service Scheme to facilitate increase in the coverage of skilled birth attendants to reduce maternal, newborn, and child mortality. But as usual, availability and retention of qualified midwives are some of the key challenges being faced right here in our country.
I wonder how they used to do it back in the days of old when we had no one who was actually qualified with the normal certification. But based on what I found out was that we had a lot of maternal mortality because of the fact that we didn't have specialized people who did this. But still, we still had people who delivered this, midwives who delivered these children without any issue. So I should say thumbs up to every midwife that was able to do it without any hitch, basically.
Yeah, but moving forward, just like the theme of this year's commemoration, more investments should go into midwives, in training them, in recruiting them, in paying them well.
Exactly.
Because having them and having enough of them ensures that there is a reduction in maternal mortality, childbirth mortality, you know, so it is important. And I like how the theme is very bold and direct for everyone to understand what the issue is. I was reading up somewhere on the news today where it said that investing in midwives would prevent, I think, 4.3 million deaths in the space of how many years. So it's an important conversation, an important area for the health practitioners and the government as well, for them to look into it, especially in Nigeria.
Especially in Nigeria,
because
and
like
Africa.
you said, availability and losing qualified hands.
Yes.
Because the qualified hands we have are
brain drains,
very ready,
and they're actually going
to
out
leave
of the country.
You know, when you're not paying them well,
they're not
you're
being
not taking care of
appreciated
them,
where they are currently.
You know, so a lot needs to be done. Temi, do you want to say something?
I mean, the last point you made is very important. How about a lot of people, you know, midwives, doctors, a lot of people in the health space, you know, they're not paid well. And so, and it's not just particular to the health space, a lot of sectors in Nigeria, you know, the remuneration is low. And so people are looking to live in Nigeria. And, you know, I think that's just an entire big conversation. But talking about Midwives Day, I just recall that I know someone, you know, someone who's very close to me who is a midwife, and I haven't even reached out yet to, you know, just say hello to her. I will do that. But generally, I agree with you on some of the points you have raised, that I think that it's very important. Like, remuneration needs to be looked into so that we have the best hands, so that, you know, childbirth is easier and less mortality rates, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's start with you. What did you find for us in the news?
Okay, so my story says an 80-year-old woman and her granddaughter, who is 19, with other people, were also arrested with 192 kg cocaine, heroin, and other drugs. I'll take it again. An 80-year-old woman, a granddaughter who is 19, and other people arrested with 192 kilograms of cocaine, heroin, and other drugs. These people were arrested in Akure by the operatives of the NDLEA for selling illicit drugs like cocaine, heroin, tramadol, phenol, amongst others. And the news says that the NDLEA spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, revealed that the suspects were arrested following intelligence-based raids and follow-up operations. So after the raid, it's alleged that, you know, they found these illicit drugs on them and they arrested them. This is sad. I don't even know how to look at it. I mean, I understand that it is a suspicion, it is an allegation, until it is proved in the court of law, right? But let's assuming but not conceding that they actually had these substances and they were involved in trading these illicit drugs, it's very, very sad because she's 80, like she's a grandma to this girl who is 19, a teenager. There's been a lot of news about, women, about children, about ladies of late. And to hear that a person is trading, is dealing in drugs, hard drugs, and her grandmom is aware of this, it's really sad because I think of it as what could be the reason for this? Is this poverty? What could be the reason? I mean, it's just really sad.
I think you just answered the question.
These cases that we have, especially when you see a lot of movies, you find that sometimes, people are just set up and they really didn't do things. So if that's the case, on the other hand, it's also sad because it's defamation, it's putting their reputation up and, setting them up for a criminal case. And that's really bad as well. So either way, it's just really bad. I just saw this news and I thought that this is very disheartening.
Yeah. When I saw her posted, what actually struck me was the fact that we keep talking about family values, the breakdown in family values in our society. This is a typical example of what has happened in our society, where we have a grandmother who actually decided to sell hard drugs, and we are complaining that we already have youths that are already disoriented in the society. She is enabling it in her own capacity.
I think it's wrong in every level. It's not bad enough if she was selling it alone and she was getting the funds and raising this kid, but she's selling it and involving that 19-year-old girl. It's just sad.
Okay, so who is going to castigate?
For me, looking at the pictures, I mean, I didn't even see their picture before now. I've seen the news, but I was very disinterested in that news. I don't know why. But looking at these photos now, these are not the kingpin, or whatever.
Of course, they are.
There is somebody somewhere.
Of course, they are.
Who is making millions and billions from this illicit drug sales.
Exactly.
And these people are just what?
But the
like
retailers,
they are into it because of probably poverty, and they are hustling, like you said,
they're
right?
retailers, yes.
To be something. My own worry and concern sometimes is what kind of oath do they get to take, or what kind of bond do they get between them that makes it impossible for them to name names? Or is it that at the end of the day they name names and the people that are at the top are well connected, so much so that the police cannot do anything? I mean, our police are corrupt to a certain extent anyway.
Look at that woman.
Looking at this woman and talking about family value, losing it, my dear, that's not going to solve anything, because you've caught this one. They would initiate somebody else, because the point is poverty. They want to make money. You tell them, oh, carry this and pass, and you get a certain amount of money that they've probably been working the whole year, and they've never seen that kind of money. They want to do it. So I'm hoping that they can have money, I
will go into prostitution.
I'm not saying what they're doing is correct. I'm saying that there is a bigger fish to fry. And if NDLEA are really doing their job, they should find those big fish and fry them. That's what I'm saying. What did you find for us in the news? What did you find for us, EC?
In the news?
Yeah.
Thank God today is Midwife Day. And what actually resonated with me today was 25-year-old woman gives birth to a baby, to a set of babies, 9 set of babies. So we have nonuplets, which are actually very rare to have. So, and this happened, absolutely, and this happened in Morocco. She is a Malian woman, and she has 5 girls and 4 boys.
Wow.
Now, it has actually attracted the government of Mali. So they've come to her aid and helped her. She had the babies through cesarean section, which is the only way she could have had these babies. She can't go through the normal.
The interesting part for me is that she was told, or the doctors expected 7.
7.
And then it became
9. God is good.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Babies, as babies are a beautiful gift from God. I agree with you, but I'm just imagining a situation where, because I heard this happened anyways, it wasn't even 9 kids, but you know, a family already has about 3 children, and they were hoping to have their last one to become 4 children, and then they ended up giving birth to triplets. And I heard that the woman was just shocked, and you know, she was just, it was a big deal for her because that was going to, you know, become 6 children. So you say that this person had 5 already, and now 9. That's 13.
No,
Oh
she just had a
goodness.
set of 9. She just had a set of 9.
I don't think she had.
She didn't have children
first,
before
Okay,
then.
I mean, did she have any? Is this her first?
This is the first.
Oh, okay, 9. Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Absolutely. And she's just 25 years old.
Wow.
They should tie her womb.
Straight though. Okay, for me, here's what I found in the news. It's about the story we've been discussing. So this is just a follow-up. Baba Ijesha faces possible life imprisonment as Lagos State government are set to file charges, or may file charges, depending on what grammar you want to use in that context. The State Directorate of Public Prosecution recommended 5 charges after due consideration of the facts in the case file. Now, the State Attorney General has said that he will be charged under the criminal law of Lagos State, and some of the charges that are likely to be filed against him include indecent treatment of a child, and that is punishable by life imprisonment, sexual assault by penetration, the same thing as well, life imprisonment, and then attempted sexual assault by penetration, that's 14 years imprisonment. So however you want to look at it, this is he's going to pay for it. Yeah.
They shouldn't grant him leniency after 5 years of, you know, being there. So there shouldn't be any sort of parole for him. That's my take. The fact that maybe he goes in for life imprisonment and afterwards they come back and say, hey, this man has been well behaved, and decide to grant him parole. Yeah. And the Lord is our strength. Amen. At least something is working out for us.
Okay. We'll see you after the break to carry on or dive right into our conversation.